Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast, where we like to talk about sports from a positive angle. I'm your host this evening, Ed Montana. Alongside me today, my jet-setting, high-flying, profiling, Miami Beach vacationing, my brother Alex.
Woo! Glad to be back. I'm back on Earth. That's what it feels like.
Where were you before?
Ooh, man. I was in the beautiful Sunshine State, vacationing with the family.
Miami treat you good?
Great. Orlando, Miami, it was all good.
I will say this. I am very happy to see that they didn't run out of sunscreen in Miami or Orlando this time.
Listen,
other times you've been to Miami, you had to check a different box when it asked for ethnicity.
Well, we hit up about 3 Walmarts on the way and loaded up on pails and buckets and, load up with some sunscreen lotion. But I would like to say, are you sure that this mic is on?
Well,
Because listen, if I want to bust out a high note on this episode like I did on the last one, and I got a few compliments on that, okay? So, I mean, props to me. All right, I want to be able to say that, our viewers and listeners can listen to me.
Do you remember my forward comment to you?
It doesn't matter what it was.
Don't ever sing again. Don't ever. Dessa. Just remember that. Dessa. Yeah, look, we've had microphone issues. We've had sound issues. We've even had a few brain farts where people say stupid stuff and they forget the taglines or whatever. I personally appreciate you fans hanging in there with us. But hey, at the end of the day, this is episode 7, all right? We're not talking about Joe Rogan here. I mean, it's not like we're, veterans of the podcast world. So we're working. We're glad that you're working with us. We're glad that you're hanging out and having you're along for the ride with us. See, every now and then
it happens. Give us about 750 episodes. We'll be perfect.
Probably, I say less than that. 650 tops.
That's a good number.
Hey man, let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Six Nations rugby tournament over in Europe, because that's what everyone's talking about here.
That is the hottest topic in sports right now.
All joking aside, congratulations to Ireland. They won all 5 of their matches and won the tournament. Obviously, it's a 6-team tournament. You only have 5 matches. If you go 5-0, you win. Congratulations to Ireland. I love the rugby stuff. I get to watch it on NBC every now and then, and they were fantastic. But seriously, what we have to talk about is the 4 best days in sports. My arm got twisted last time, and now I give the 4 best. And I'm saying 4 days because Saturday and Sunday is as good as Thursday and Friday. Man, this tournament, wow.
As much as it's March Madness, it's March Sadness.
That's true.
Oh, man.
For some people, it is sadness.
I guess.
Let's go in chronological order. Let's talk about Thursday and Friday.
Well, let me tell you something. When you're on vacation, you don't really have
when you're on vacation
to watch games. But I guess Virginia, they lose to a team that is not even a city; it's a county.
I embarrassed myself because you know how it is sometimes on Twitter, right? Sometimes you shouldn't put everything on. You should not put your immediate thought on Twitter. And I immediately said, holy crap, Virginia just got upset by UMBC. What the hell's a UMBC?
Sounds like your local TV channel.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, and it's embarrassing. And for those of you that don't know or been living under a rock, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, the Retrievers, right? Who Lane Kiffin thinks is going to win the whole thing, which I still call bullshit on that.
Yeah, no.
But holy crap, finally, a 16 seed has beaten a 1 seed. Hats off to them. It was a great game, too. Virginia was in it, but you could tell they were struggling throughout. Yeah. And the problem that Virginia's had all year is they cannot score quickly. They never seem to be able to get on a long, 12-2 run and
Right.
stuff like that. And they got exposed by UMBC on Thursday because they couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, man, hats off to that team because UMBC, they, to go and defeat the odds pretty much because I don't think, well, maybe you had one or two bettors out in Vegas picking that underdog, but I mean, to come up with a win like that is pretty impressive. I'm interested to see how they come out tonight. Is it a hangover? Is it or
I don't know. Well, they're playing right now against K-State. I believe it was a difference of 5 at the half, so they're hanging in there. They're doing the thing, I always said that a 16 would beat a 1, but I didn't think it would happen in my lifetime.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't think it would happen against the number 1 overall, right?
Yeah.
You probably out of the 4 number 1s, you would probably have thought Xavier would have lost.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah, if there was a one that I thought was vulnerable this year, but even then, I mean,
yeah, that's
there's always one of those number 1s that you think is weaker, but never to the point where you think they're going to lose to a 16.
No.
Then what else did we have on Thursday? We had Loyola beating Miami, which was not a huge upset. It was 11-6, which isn't huge. The cool story there is the chaplain, right? The little old nun.
Oh, yeah. I've read about her.
I almost don't want Loyola to. Now, Loyola beat Tennessee, and so they're going to the Sweet. I almost don't want them to win anymore. I'm afraid she's going to have a heart attack.
Well, I think she filled out of her own bracket, and she's got them losing in the Sweet 16.
Who are they playing in the Sweet 16? Against Nevada. Did you see?
Holy
oh,
cow.
My God. We're going to have to skip ahead here because talk about shit in the bed. Cincinnati with a 22-point lead. Gone.
Nevada played excellent in the second half, man. I mean, to overcome that 22-point lead at any level is pretty damn good. And that was an excellent game.
I saw the beginning of that game and then went out to dinner, which that's another story altogether. But
which, by the way, I'm glad you went to dinner because when I called you or when I texted you, I was gonna head this way. And you said, no, hold on. And so I turned the game back on, and it was like a 10-point.
You got to watch it.
Yeah.
I watched the beginning, and Cincinnati was just running up and down the floor, and it's like Nevada wasn't even there.
Right.
It's like, well, this is a problem.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, they played a good game with Texas. That was a competitive game. It was close throughout. That was a lot of fun to watch. Another one from Thursday, right? I think it's from Thursday. Arizona. Now, we have to go back to the FBI thing, right? Because there's a couple of teams that are pretty prominently mentioned in that FBI thing, and they lost. And Arizona's one of them. And Arizona looked like they didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not an Arizona hater, but I hate to say this. As I saw them going through the handshake line, I've coached my kids in baseball and soccer. I've got 3 kids. 2 of them played quite a bit. And, I'm still coaching my youngest, and so I've been through that handshake line. And my standard comment, right? I never talk to the other team because I feel like that's disrespectful. So I never talk to the other team. To the players, good game, good game, good game, good game. To the coach at the end, good game, good luck to you. That's it. Mm-hmm. I hate to say it, but all I can think about as Sean Miller's going through that handshake line is, good luck to you with the FBI, buddy. Don't end up in the pokey. Good luck.
Make sure you're not wiretapped.
I'm not wiretapped. I hope you're not. He is. We've talked about how much trouble he's in, but that team looked completely disinterested in being there. And then I don't know if you caught this, but immediately after the game, two of them said they were turning pro, including the kid's name.
DeAndre Ayton,
the Ayton kid, right? Which, by the way, he's not a kid. That dude looks like he's got a wife and 3 kids
26.
and a mortgage and everything. But immediately after the game, 2 of them announced they were going pro. So that tells me they had no interest in the game.
No,
None whatsoever.
And I think you were right. Like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, Sean Miller. How is he going? How is he going to coach? Is he mentally going to be there? If he's not there, then there's no way in heck he's going to have the kids prepared. And I think that showed. And can I get an amen on these teams that are, in some trouble? They're not going to win this tournament.
Well, yeah, but I don't think. But you're being a dweeb here.
No, I'm not.
It's not for the reason that you said. You were insinuating the NCAA would do something to ensure they don't win. I'm saying.
Well, it's half and half.
I'm saying the pressure of a looming FBI probe. I mean, if you just say the word FBI probe,
I'm running.
Probe by itself sounds bad. When you put FBI in front of it, it's not good. I'm over 40. Let me tell you, probes are not good. Not good at all. The rest of the first round, let's see. Nothing big. I am wearing a Michigan t-shirt today.
Why is that?
It is not because of the game last night. It is because I am a Michigan man.
Sure.
And I have a ton of Michigan t-shirts. They played... Now, they did the exact opposite of what I thought was going to happen, right? We talked about the Big Ten with the big layoff. They came out flat against Montana, and they kind of turned it on a little bit in the second half, but it still wasn't very convincing. Came out twice as flat against Houston last night, and by the time we got to the latter part of the game, I wasn't even upset. I was like, okay, we left all of our mojo in New York City for the Big Ten tournament,
right? And
we're just not gonna do anything here. And my son and I are watching the game last night, and we're both there. And it's kind of late, right? And we're both there, kind of oh yeah, look, another turnover. Yeah, Michigan's gonna lose. We're both upset, but it's like, what can you do? And down 3.6 seconds left. They got to go the length of the floor. Whatever. Now they have been shooting well. He inbounds the ball. He goes a little bit. Makes a pass. And then that dude, Jordan Poole. Now I know he was trying to get the foul, but it looked like...
That looked like the Jumpman symbol. What kind of jump shot was that? Yeah, you're right. He probably was trying to get the...
He looked like he was having a seizure midair. And just threw it. And the damn thing went in. My son and I lost it. We were the only two in here, right? Thank God no one else was here. And my son and I lost it. And we were screaming and jumping up and down and stuff. It was a great finish. It'll be a one shining moment, even if they get bounced in the next round. But again, a really good team. They're a good team. They deserve to be in the Sweet 16. Could go further. The team that played in the Big Ten tournament could definitely go further. The team that played this weekend is going to get routed in the next round. I can't imagine that they're gonna play that bad again and not get absolutely smoked by, this is a weekend upset, A&M, who knocked off North Carolina today.
Well, they got a whole week to prepare now and to rest. So I think that's going to benefit them big time.
So they're only going to be half as flat as they were when they had 2 weeks to prepare?
That's right.
That's my fear. Then also in the first round, you had Marshall knocking off Wichita State.
Oh, I picked that. Thank you.
It's the only one you picked.
Hey, you want upsets? Call me.
That's right. If you want upsets, because he'll give you all of them, you can reach him at Brooklyn Gaucho on Twitter. If you want the truth, you come to me at eMontana21 on Twitter. And if you just want to razz us about how bad our picks are in general, because at the end of the day, they're pretty bad, you can contact the show at positivesports10@gmail.com. Positivesports10@gmail.com. A little plug for all of us so you can reach out to us. Purdue won their first round game, lost their key player in Haas, who is done for the tournament likely. They won today.
He actually played today.
No, he was there. Play? No, he was there in spirit and he was cheering, but he was not playing. But they've got problems without him. They won today. They really toughed it out against a gritty Butler team, but they're gonna struggle without him going forward. And then going back to Thursday, Friday, nothing real exciting on this half of the bracket.
What's
Kansas.
that, the Midwest?
The Midwest bracket pretty much went according to plan. I don't think there were any major upsets there. Other than Syracuse knocking off TCU. You know, Syracuse, we talked about how they didn't even deserve to be in there.
Yeah.
They were in the playing game with Arizona State, who
That's
didn't
right.
deserve to be there. And, they beat TCU, which is not a great team. TCU, I thought, was a bit overrated at 6, but whatever. And then the rest...
And Michigan State, man, they shot horrible. And Syracuse, they got some long. Their wingspan on those players are long. They're gonna give Duke some problems. I think.
Well, you're jumping ahead to Saturday, Sunday now, but the last comment from Thursday, Friday, Trae Young got bounced by Rhode Island. Thank goodness. And I hate to say it, but I don't think that kid is nearly as good as people make him out to be. I realize he has zero help, but if that's the case and he ends up going to the Atlanta Hawks, he's in big trouble. So, not impressed with Trae Young, and I think he had a good run early in the season. I said this before. He had a good run early in the season. People figured some stuff out, and he's just not.
Yeah, you just gotta double team him and let the rest beat you. And I mean, that's
Yeah, but even then, he can't seem to break out of double teams. I don't think his passing game is very good. If you're getting double teamed all the time, you should be able to find ways to get your teammates involved. So, moving on, let's go to the weekend. Tell me something about Saturday, Sunday, other than the great Michigan win.
Yeah, I mean, I got a feeling Syracuse is gonna give the Dukies some problems. I think they can shoot the ball, and like I said, they're players, man. They got long arms. They're tall. They can rebound. I like Syracuse. I don't know about to beat Duke, but
that's all we care about here, buddy. Survive and advance.
Yeah.
I think Duke has looked good all weekend, done what they're supposed to do, and I think the glass slipper will fall apart on
Cuse.
On Cuse, yeah. Right now we got Xavier and Florida State going on. The winner there plays Gonzaga, which I think is a great matchup. You've got UMBC, the Retrievers, in case you're wondering, going up against K-State for the right to face Kentucky. That South bracket is a mess. I've never seen so many big numbers in a bracket in my life.
I don't think I have one team remaining after the weekend. I think I am. That bracket is that side of my bracket is completely busted.
That is a busted bracket. This is the first year I got my son filling out a bracket.
He's probably beating me.
And so when Virginia got bounced, he already had a couple problems up there in the South. And he looks at it, he goes, "My bracket's busted." I was like, "Sorry, son, but that's what March Madness is all about. We're gonna do a Sweet 16 bracket because it's so busted that like half the games we don't care about now. So we're gonna have to do a Sweet 16 bracket."
Well, I'm gonna do one for the national championship. I feel I got a 50-50 shot of hitting that. So I'll try my luck there.
Whew. So going forward, Villanova still looks really good in the East. Duke and Kansas look like they're on a collision course. We should see a great Elite Eight matchup if those two make it.
I'll tell you what, back to Nova, I think you're not so hot on Purdue. I kind of like their style of play. They got a pretty gritty team.
They do.
I like that.
They do.
I like that.
But I think Texas Tech is good.
I think to beat Nova, that's how you have to play, is physical. I'm not saying they'll beat them, but they're gonna give them a good run for their money.
Yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but I don't think they're gonna make it that far. I think Texas Tech is gonna beat them. Texas Tech is a really good basketball team that can run the floor and they can handle all the grit that Purdue has. I think they're gonna give them I picked Texas Tech to win that game, so okay. I expect them to go to the Elite Eight and match up with Villanova. And then in the Midwest, like we talked about, Kansas and Duke. In the West, Xavier. I think Xavier's going to beat Florida State. What's the score of the Xavier Florida State game right now?
32-29, Florida State.
Oh.
Florida State's up 3, but it's probably not even halftime yet, right? Yeah, not even halftime yet. So, I expect Xavier will come through. And even if they don't, I think Gonzaga is the team that comes out of that matchup.
Yeah.
Michigan now has A&M, which theoretically is easier. But good grief, A&M looked like an NBA team. They are huge. I didn't realize. I guess I haven't paid any attention to them. They are a big team. They're going to give Michigan problems.
Yeah, I didn't think that they would that they would beat North Carolina the way they did. I mean, they handled them. Yeah, they handled them pretty well. I don't think A&M has enough to beat Michigan. I think Michigan with the 3-4 days of rest is going to benefit them big time, and I think they rebound too well. So A&M better shoot lights out, or that one can get away quick.
Well, it'll be interesting because A&M plays pretty good defense. They protect the rim great, which kind of plays into Michigan's game because they're a little more of an outside shooting team.
Right.
But if they don't come correct early on, it could get away from them quick. That game today with North Carolina, it got away from North Carolina quick, and it was done. It was done. Once A&M put the throttle down, North Carolina had nothing for them, and they were done. It was really surprising that a team as seasoned as that North Carolina team, they've been to the 2 Final Fours in a row, won the national championship last year. They looked like they were trying to, they were down 15. They were down 20 with 10 to play, I think it was. And it looked like every time they went down the floor, they were trying to score, 8-point buckets. And it's like, dude, it didn't work that way. You would have figured a seasoned team like that would have been a little bit better at it.
Yeah, true. Desperation really kicked in, I guess. And, you kind of wonder what the, Roy Williams.
Yeah.
Did you see, I was watching the, damn, fill me in. What was the game that just, oh man, my
Nevada?
mind. No, yeah, Nevada and Cincinnati. I don't know who the coach is for Cincinnati, but that guy, Cincinnati's big man, fouled out with like 7 minutes left. Cumberland is his last name. I don't remember his first name. Holy cow. That coach from Cincinnati had veins coming out of his neck, had veins coming out of his head, and his eyes popped out. And he was just getting into them. And they played real sloppy towards the end, hence the, the 22-point.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, the 22-point lead that just disappeared like that.
Whoa, man, I would hate to be those kids in that locker room after that game. That coach was mad.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. I tell you what, coaching is, like I mentioned earlier, I've done some coaching. It is one of the most frustrating things ever. I mean, it is very rewarding. It's great to see, especially with kids, it's great to see them improve and get better and all that. But sometimes you just want to pull your hair out. I mean, you're just like, I just told you to do this, and on the very next play, you don't do it. It drives me insane.
Well, you were a kid once.
Yeah, and if an adult told me to go cover second base, you better believe I went and covered second base.
When mom said, hey, don't do this, what'd you do? Exactly that.
That's different. I wanted to go do something else. It's a little bit different, but so anyway, so do you still have your final? You obviously don't have your final four. Do you at least have your final game?
I have half of my final game.
What
Yeah.
What is your final game?
Well, my final game was Virginia and Kansas, but I changed that after Virginia lost.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So, convenient of myself, right?
Yeah. Very convenient. Remind me not to play in any brackets you play in. Hey, let me ask you a question about this bracket stuff. How many do you fill out? Like, how many different pools are you in?
Dude, as many as my pen can fill out.
How many pools are you in? Like, physically, how many pools are you in?
This year, I'm in none, actually.
Really?
I'm in no pools.
Okay, which is good because you got Virginia in the final.
Yeah.
But how many different brackets have you filled out?
In the past, I've probably done 3 tops.
Oh, that's not bad.
No.
I've heard horror show people with like 32 brackets and stuff.
No, there's not enough. No, it's too much thinking. See, then you got to mix it up, right? The probabilities and all that. I don't have that kind of time.
I've done multiple brackets, and the part I hate is when I know I picked an upset, but I didn't pick it on all of
On
the
all of
brackets. And the bracket where I'm doing the best is where I didn't pick it.
Yeah.
And that one I had going to the Final Four, and it busted.
Yeah, and that's why, look, this is the thing. If you fill out 3-5 brackets, by the time the Sweet 16 is up, you're just paying attention to one.
Yeah.
Because it's, the others are probably...
I still have my final game intact. I have
Dude.
Michigan Villanova.
Wow.
I'm a little homer, I know.
Wow.
But it's also working out kind of nicely.
That's better than, the 4 million that probably had Virginia in there.
Oh, I saw something about people. A lot of people had Michigan State coming out of the Midwest.
Really?
Not anymore, folks.
Wow. No?
Yeah, and it's sad too. Michigan State was ranked really in the top 5 all year,
Yeah.
all year long, and they didn't look good against Bucknell, and they really didn't look good today. So
No, they looked horrible today.
that's that. So let's change gears here a little bit. Let's talk a little bit positive running. I'm going to go a little bit different this time from positive running. I've been very encouraging, and that is, I think, very important. But I do think that at some point, your mind has to take command over the situation, and your mind has to say what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. I find it with myself, especially when I start to struggle during a long training session. When I spend 12 weeks of hard training for a marathon, there gets to be a point where I kind of become a bit of a baby, and at some point my mind has to take over, and it's pretty much where I just tell myself that I'm going to accomplish this training session whether I like it or not. At some point, you have to tell your body who's boss. And, I channel my inner drill sergeant and I say, I command you to go run. I command you to do this weight workout. I command you to do your core work. I command you to eat right. I don't care what your problem is, and I don't care how much you want to have that ice cream. I don't care how tired you feel. I don't care that you don't feel like doing. I don't care that it's raining. I command you to go do what you're supposed to do. And the reason that I speak so harshly about this right now is because I promise you, for any of you that are training for any distance or any kind of endeavor, and you put it out there for 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks, however long it is, there will be a point where you will suffer, and there will be a point where your body will say, I don't want to do that. And that's the point when your mind has to take over. And there's 2 reasons for this. One, if you fall off and don't do it, you're letting your body dictate to you what you're going to accomplish. And that's not the case. That shouldn't be the case. It's your goal. You accomplish what you want to accomplish. Your body is along for the ride. 2, on race day, when you're training for your first 10K, when you're training for your first marathon, whatever it is, whatever that first race day is, there's going to be a point where you're going to want to quit. There's going to be a point where you're suffering. There's going to be a point where you're not going to want to do it. You need that training of your mind taking over and your mind saying, I'm the boss here. This is what we do. And I don't care how tired you are. I don't care how hot you think it is. You're going to accomplish this. And you push yourself through it. So remember that. Your mind is the boss. What your mind says, your body will do. Command yourself to go through the process of achieving what you want to achieve. And like I've always said, the juice is worth the squeeze. You will be better for it on the other side. I promise you. Any thoughts?
I think I am the boss.
That's right.
And I control everything. I control the results. So absolutely, I'm on board with that, man. That's speaking the truth there. You're in control.
That's
right.
right. That's right. Absolutely.
If you want something that bad, then you gotta work for it. There's been plenty of times when I'm at the gym and I'm on that last set, right? I'm maxing out, and it's like, your body doesn't doesn't want to give you anymore. But you just gotta tell yourself, the results is worth it.
Your mind has to be a bigger beast than your body. And I firmly believe that. Your mind has to be a bigger beast than your body. So that's my positive running tip for the day. Command yourself to achieve. Command yourself. You will achieve what you want to achieve on any given day. You will. You can. You must. That's what I think. You must.
Sounds
That's
good to
my
me.
feeling.
What else we got?
We've had a whole flurry of NFL activity.
Yeah,
It's kind of cool when the
dominoes fell.
when the NFL year, I guess the fiscal year, whatever it is, whenever that is coming to an end, is when guys are getting cut, and because they don't want to pay roster bonuses and whatnot, and then
That's right.
of course, then once the new year opens up, they have all their free money to do whatever they want to do, and you start to see all these signings. Let's start at the top. Quarterbacks. What do you like? What don't you like?
Man, I love Sam Bradford getting all that money again for doing absolutely nothing. Jeez, that guy's made $114 million in his career to
And
win
he's-
34 games and throw under 20,000 yards.
Oh my God. Yeah, he's not.
He got paid twice in 1 year by 2 teams.
I have a hard time getting paid once. I don't get paid very much.
Oh my!
Yeah, he is the biggest winner. Only because he does it. He does it for. I mean, he gets paid for nothing basically. I mean, God bless him, nice guy and all, I'm sure, but that's amazing. I'll tell you who I think the big winners are. Where did Kirk Cousins end up? Minnesota.
The Minnesota Vikings.
I think the Minnesota Vikings are big winners. I think Kirk Cousins is a big winner. I see a lot of good things for that team next year. That team was already good. I think Kirk Cousins is a slight upgrade from what they had. Case Keenum had a great year. I'm not saying he didn't. I just don't think he can duplicate it. I think at the end of the day, Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback, and I think they're both. I think that's going to be a mutually beneficial relationship. I expect a lot of good things out of the Vikings. I expect them to win that division. I almost dare to say easily because I'm not sold on the Packers. We got to see how Aaron Rodgers comes back. I think he's getting a little bit older, maybe a little bit more fragile. I'm not sold on the Packers, and the Bears and the Lions are
The Bears and the Lions.
yeah, they're in the division because the division has to have 4 teams. So I think they're the big winners.
And don't forget, $84 million fully guaranteed. Now, when it comes
For
to
Kirk Cousins?
yeah,
Yeah.
and when it
Well,
comes
as I
to
said, it's mutually beneficial.
yeah, when it comes to football, woo,
Yeah,
that's nice.
a lot of guaranteed money. That is a lot of guaranteed money. That's true. The other big loser to me, aside from Arizona spending all that money on a guy who's not going to play all year, what is Denver doing? They shelled out a bunch of money for Case Keenum and then doubled down and said, this was our guy all along. Well, you were wrong all along. I think you're nuts.
Well, I think that's John Elway thinking he's a great GM,
Yeah.
and he's just not.
He's overthinking it.
Yeah.
Remember that play way back when Bill Belichick went for it on 4th down against the Colts? Sometimes these guys overthink things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think John Elway has gotten to the point where I think he thinks he's the smartest guy in the NFL. And I'm not saying he's a dummy, but sometimes he's trying too hard. And I think this is a perfect example. He was already going off the rails with the quarterback situation over there with the kid from Memphis and all this stuff. And now he's doubled down on his craziness by going with Case Keenum. I think he had a better shot going through the draft. I think he's barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing out there. I don't think Case Keenum's the answer. And that defense is. He probably needs to rebuild that defense. You know, because
Yeah.
it's not what it used to be.
It's getting older, and you
Yeah.
know, defenses don't stay crazy hot like that forever.
Right.
Apparently, San Francisco thinks they're a player or two away now that they have a quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo. So they went out and they got their hands on Richard Sherman,
Yeah.
which I think is good for them. I don't know how much is left in Richard Sherman, and I don't know. My problem with Richard Sherman is how is he going to function under a different coach? Pete Carroll ran a very unique situation with that defense, and I don't know that those guys, as good as they are, I don't know how they're going to mesh in other organizations. There's a lot of very highly outspoken people. There's a lot of bickering that goes on the sidelines, and that's all fine and dandy when stuff works, and apparently it did in Seattle. I don't know how those guys will translate to other situations like San Francisco and wherever, you know, any of those other guys are going. So I'm a little bit, you know, I got skeptical hippo eyes on that one.
Yeah, I don't know that
sure.
Richard, how much he has left. If he can even stay, I mean, he could probably play, but that's the issue. He gets hurt quite a bit, and
He's not as young as he used to be.
you know what? I never really considered him a premier corner. He never guards the number one wide receiver. You always see him covering the number two wide receiver.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I've heard that argument, but on the flip side, he shuts down that half of the field. So okay, he's not.
Don't you want to shut down the best wide receiver on the field?
Okay, but the problem is that in Seattle, he only plays on that side. So everyone that goes to play Seattle says, okay, well, I'll put my number one on the other side. Regardless, though, he shuts down half the field. You know, it's kind of like Darrelle Revis back in the day.
What?
Revis would shut people down, and you couldn't go to that side of the field. You couldn't even go over to that side.
Yeah, but he would take away the best wide receiver.
No, I understand that, but again, my point is, Richard Sherman is that kind of shut down, lockdown corner where the quarterback doesn't even look over there.
I understand what you're saying, but
I'm not saying he's the greatest. I'm not saying he's the greatest cornerback ever. I'm saying there is significant value in shutting down an entire half the field.
well, yeah, I guess I don't agree with that.
I think he should take the number one receiver as well, and this is why I don't think he's the best cornerback ever. But he does shut down half the field, and that to me is a huge benefit. For a defense, that's a huge benefit. And I think you've seen it with Seattle for many years. I wonder how it's going to work now without him.
Well, you wonder how it's going to work without the rest of that Seattle defense, right? He benefited from having a good defensive line,
That's
a
true,
good
too.
safety, and good linebackers.
That's true.
The 49ers aren't up to what Seattle used to be. So I don't know that he's going to benefit greatly, but, either way, the 49ers got their franchise quarterback. I think Jimmy G is going to be.
You think he's the real deal?
Yeah. He's got the look of a quarterback. I mean, look at him, man. He led them to like seven wins.
No, not 7. No.
It wasn't 7?
They didn't win 7 games. What was the 49ers record last year?
Well, either way, they came back and won a few games.
Yeah,
under
which
Jimmy
is
G.
a few more than they had won before he got there. I understand that, but not 7.
And they did right. They did right by locking him up. Why take a chance?
I agree.
Why take a chance in the draft?
I agree.
Talking about draft, the Indianapolis Colts committed highway robbery on the Jets. Did you see what they gave up?
No.
Did you see what the Jets gave up to move up 3 spots?
No.
They gave up 3 second-rounders this year's draft and a second-rounder, I believe, for next year's draft.
To move up 3 spots from what to what?
6 to 3.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Who is running the show over in New Jack City?
I have no idea. But the Colts benefited greatly because they can use those.
Well, they need players.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. They can use those picks.
They don't need one number 3 overall pick.
Right.
They need those second rounders and whatnot to fill out that roster. And
Yeah,
hopefully they get some guys to protect Andrew Luck because
So the Jets must have someone in mind that I mean they have to be drafting quarterbacks,
For
but
the
they
love
just
of God, let it be a quarterback.
but they just signed Teddy Bridgewater, which I don't get that signing, and they re-signed McCown, which that's cool. I get it.
Well, he's a serviceable backup.
Right. Well, that's fine. He did pretty good before he got hurt last year. He was doing all right.
Yeah,
So-
that's still way too much. There's going to be a decent quarterback at 6. I don't think any of these quarterbacks, they're talking about these quarterbacks. I think they're all going to be good, not great. I think they're all going to be good quarterbacks, but I don't see much difference between the kid from UCLA, the kid from Wyoming, Baker Mayfield. Yeah.
If you have a top 5 draft pick and you're going quarterback, then you better think that this is going to be a franchise Hall of Fame quarterback. If you're picking that high, and I don't think none of these quarterbacks, I don't think none of them have that potential.
But it's hard, It's hard to find one that's going to be like everyone knew Andrew Luck was going to be that guy, right? But those come around very rarely. Right, like
Yeah.
no. When people when the Eagles drafted Carson Wentz, no one went, "Well, there you go. That's a franchise quarterback, potential Hall of Famer." No one said that. So there has to be some development in them at some point. There's very few drafts where you're going to see a quarterback and go, "Yep, that guy's got Hall of Fame written all over him." The last one I can think of is Andrew Luck, right? Who have we had since then?
Oh shoot!
I can't even think of any other big name quarterback where we knew he was going to be good.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz.
You just didn't hear about him much.
Yeah, but even leading up to the draft, there was some trepidation about how good he was going to be.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I wish the Giants. I wish I knew what the Giants were doing. I have no idea what they're doing. They have absolutely no money to spend. They're cutting players to make room, but they don't sign anybody.
Yeah, that's not going to be pretty.
They did sign, the left tackle from the Patriots, Nate Soldier. So that's a good signing. I'm pretty much up to the point. I've been defending Eli forever, but I think it's time to package him up, man.
And do what?
And trade him.
Well, what do you think someone's going to give you for him?
The Jets just got... Did you not see what the Jets just got? Did I not just tell you? Come on, man.
I guess.
And if these teams are thinking anything like us, right, that there is not one quarterback out there that you are completely sold on, then why not go for a quarterback that has made a name for himself, who just needs a little bit of help on the offensive line, right? And go and trade for Eli. Eli could give you 3 more years.
Okay, but if I'm a team like Arizona, right? I guess Arizona already did it once with Carson Palmer, but I mean, if I'm a team like Minnesota and I've got Case Keenum, or I've got my choice between Kirk Cousins and Eli Manning, I'm going to take Kirk Cousins. But Eli Manning's only going to be a quarterback for another couple of years, if that, and you just don't know how much he's going to drop off.
Well, yeah. In that case, you take Kirk Cousins. Absolutely, I'm not arguing that. But
so give me a team that's going to make the move for Eli.
Come on, man, that's an easy one.
Who?
Tom Coughlin, the Jaguars. That's easily the best team. The best team that would fit Eli.
But that may not be an upgrade.
What do you mean that's not an upgrade?
Look, you made it to the AFC Championship game with Blake Bortles.
Who runs for more yards than he throws.
I understand that we don't think he's any good, but the fact of the matter is, with this system that you have right now, you made it to the AFC Championship game. If he improves a little bit, and you don't know what the slide-off is for Eli, you may end up with a worse situation. That's my problem with Eli. You know Eli's dropping off. I love Eli just as much as you do. But I think Eli's going to drop off. The problem is we don't know how far he's going to drop off. And if he does, holy shit, you're in trouble.
Damn it, you're going to make me keep on defending Eli now. Dude,
You're an Eli
he has
lover.
not. Look, man. Eli has not been protected in the pocket. Okay, he just needs a little bit of protection, and he will ball.
No.
He will ball, and he benefits from a good defense. The Jaguars have that. He would have a running game with
So does
with
Blake
Fournette.
Bortles. That's how they got to the AFC Championship
Come
game.
on, man. No. There's no way in the world that you can pick Bortles, I don't care, in his prime or 20s, 24, 25,
Whatever
over
it is.
Eli. There's no way. There's no way.
If I'm the Jacksonville Jaguars, I just don't see how making that move guarantees me to be that much better. I just don't see it. Again, Blake Bortles may improve some. He's improved some from last year.
Oh, that's right. He threw for 80. He ran for 85 yards this year. He ran for 0 yards last year.
I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, but the problem is for any team that's going to make the move for Eli is what is the drop off?
There is no drop off.
There's gonna be a drop off. He's 40 years old.
The guy doesn't get hurt. If it wasn't for Macca poop screwing his damn streak.
Hey, speaking of Macapoo, did you see the quote from Geno Smith?
No.
Geno Smith said, Ben McAdoo thought I should have been the starter. Hey, Ben McAdoo doesn't have a job, you idiot.
And that's why Gino doesn't have a job either. That is ridiculous. He did not say that.
He did.
Oh my Lord. That's pathetic.
That's like me saying, you should have been the starter, Geno. No one gives a shit. I don't have a job in the NFL either. Hey man, we're unemployed in the NFL. Why are you listening to McAdoo now?
That's crazy.
Isn't it?
Whatever.
I thought that was hilarious. Not in a good way either.
Terrible.
What are the scores of the games right now?
Who do we got?
UMBC is down 3 to Kansas State.
How much time's left?
1:41.
Oh, we may have to cut this short and go watch that.
What about the
Xavier and Florida
Yes.
State?
Xavier's up 2 with 19:25 left.
Oh, that one's still ways to go.
That one just started, right? Just started the second half.
How about Marshall? Give me Marshall, because I got it. Oh, that one didn't even start yet.
No, that one's-
Marshall's up 3
Yeah,
That
baby.
one just started.
with 14:37 in the first half.
Finish it
Cool.
now so I can have them moving on.
All right, so you got anything else, or you want to start wrapping this puppy up so we can go watch some basketball?
Let's wrap it up, man. Let's wrap it up.
All right. I know I'm gonna regret this.
Oh, you're gonna ask for me to sing again? Don't make
I
me
would-
hit a high note, man.
I would regret that more than what I'm about to ask you. Do you have a shout out?
I got a shout out, man.
Oh, hallelujah.
I got a shout out.
A shout out, not a shutout. You're not pitching here.
I'm thinking baseball, man. You know,
Listen here,
it's,
Clayton Kershaw.
Hey. So, like I mentioned earlier, I took a little mini vacation to Florida with my family, and my shout out goes to my cousin Adriana, who lives in Florida, and she greeted us. We spent some time together. It's been a while since we've seen each other, and she hooked the cousin up with some passes to Universal Studios.
Nice.
Big shout out to you. Shout out to your dad too, who I haven't seen, who by the way looks damn great for 85 years old.
85?
85.
Hey, someone give me some of the steroids he's taking. That's bullshit.
I don't know what he's taking, but it's working. It must be maybe the sun in Florida.
Good
I have no
God.
idea.
He looks younger than I do. That's
Yeah?
amazing.
Yeah, so
Uncle Frank, keep doing the damn thing, whatever you're doing.
yeah,
And hook a brother up with whatever it is you're taking, man.
mail us some.
Yeah, no kid. No, that'd be illegal, but we gotta, maybe we meet halfway between here and Florida, some shit. That's amazing.
So
God bless
big
him.
shout out to you. Big shout out to the state of Florida. Good time, good weather. And big shout out to Family Chats podcast. They helped us put our link up in the bio. My brother and I had no idea what we were doing. Okay, we had no idea what we were doing, and we reached out to them. They helped us out. That's positive. I love it. Thanks.
That's awesome. That's right. I forgot about that. That is awesome. But hey, see, there's a whole bunch of people on this ride, man. We love it. We love it. We're having a lot of fun. My shout out is going to be a little bit surprising to you.
All right. Give it to me.
I'm wearing my Michigan t-shirt.
Okay.
My shout out goes out to a guy from Ohio State.
Whoa.
So my shout out goes to Kyle Schneider. This weekend was the NCAA Wrestling Championships. I watched from the first round on Thursday. I love this stuff. I think it's great. And so in the heavyweight division, Kyle Schneider, number 1. Number 2 in the heavyweight division is Adam Kuhn from Michigan. They made it through their brackets relatively easily. They were on a collision course all year. They met twice during the season. Adam Kuhn won the first time. Kyle Schneider won the second time. They got to the finals, and they put on a performance, man. What a great match. I think it ended up being 2-1 or 2-0. Kyle Schneider won. But that's not the only reason why my shout-out goes out to him. In case you're wondering, Kyle Schneider is not only a NCAA champion this year, he is a 4-time NCAA champion. You think that's good? He's also an Olympic champion.
Wow.
You think that's good? He's also a world champion. He is probably one of the best wrestlers we've produced in this country in a long, long time. For him to be doing what he's doing, he's gone off and competed at world championships with grown-ass men, and he's won. Same thing at the Olympics. He comes back to college to help Ohio State, I believe, finish second in the NCAA tournament, and really just a stand-up guy all the way through. My hat's off to him. My hat's off to all the NCAA champions this weekend. There are 10 weight classes. Kyle Schneider's a heavyweight. There's 9 other weight classes. Those guys all did great. It was a fantastic event to watch. Shout out to Cleveland and the Quicken Loans Arena. Their setup looked phenomenal. 18,000 people packed in there.
Damn.
And they do 2 sessions. So Thursday morning, Thursday night, Friday morning, Friday night. Actually 6 sessions. Then Saturday morning and Saturday night sessions as well. And the place was packed the whole time. It was rocking. Even in the very early rounds, it was absolutely rocking. Just a fantastic atmosphere, a great event. Hats off to all those NCAA wrestling champions. You guys were fantastic.
Yeah, make sure you don't tell none of your buddies about this shout out. Your Michigan buddies.
Oh yeah.
This might be the most illegal shout out ever on the history of Positive Sports Podcast.
For all I should I should have set up a teaser right before I said that. For all of my Michigan friends, mute this for the next 3 minutes. But anyway, that's the way it goes, man. Hey, look, great performances are great performances, and I love seeing them. I don't care. Well, I do care. Obviously, I want my Michigan brethren to win, but if I see something fantastic done by a guy from Ohio State, I'm a big enough Positive Sports fan to recognize it and acknowledge it, even on this show. So, with that being said, if you guys have any incredible performances that you want us to know about or you want to talk about with us, please email the show, positivesports10@gmail.com, positivesports10@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your thoughts and comments, even your feedback about the terrible sound. Whatever you got, we'd love to chat with you. If you want to reach us individually, you want to argue with us about something, some sports stuff, you want to figure out more about his vacation, you can reach my brother Alex at Brooklyn Gaucho on Twitter. He'll be more than glad to interact with you. Same thing for me. I would love to hear from you guys. You can reach me on Twitter at eMontana21. I just realized I totally shut you out of
That's okay.
Introducing yourself to the fans.
No worries.
But hey, sometimes I just get on a roll. I must be butter because I'm on a roll. I love that one. It was one of those little ESPN-isms, right?
Stuart Scott.
Yeah,
probably.
Cool, like the other side of the pillow. Yeah, my favorite. So, with that being said, we're going to go watch some more basketball. And as always, folks, ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.